So this is one of the exercises we often do in life coaching sessions. This is called future visioning. If you can just imagine yourself with closed eyes and breathe in and breathe out. Imagine if you have a time machine. Just close your eyes, relax your body, drop your shoulders down, breathe in, be comfortable. Inhale and exhale. And imagine yourself somewhere down the line in the future, somewhere when you are 70 years old. Just go there. Because it anyway you want, you don't want, you wish, you don't wish, anyway you will get there. So you are already 70. From there in the future, look towards now and learn what message, what advice your older, wiser self has to give it to you. If you can just ask for an advice that your older self has to give it to you. I'll give you 1 minute. Imagine you are 70, somewhere, someplace, how you look, how you walk, or you imagine you would walk, talk, look, be when you are 70-year-old. And if in that place, wherever you are when you are 70 years old, your present version is going to talk to you, what advices you will give it to yourself? Somewhere you are in a house or a beach or a place. Take that advice, something that will benefit you now, and say thank you to your future self. Shake hands and give a hug if it is possible for you to hug your future self, and come back as quickly as possible in the moment now, 2022. All right, what I did was a very minute, the very trailer kind of a dose of what we do with what is called joy ride, life ride in our one-to-one sessions. If you want to experience full life ride session, you can book and we can contact you. It takes an hour to go through in the time machine of past and future and just get some insights. We must know we are this human body. It's like I told you, what is the composition of human body? We have this lump of muscles, body, water, fluids, and bones. There is oxygen level. We have heart rate, pulse rate. We have the brain, which is running with the frequency and vibrations. We have this bioelectrical magnetic field around us, which is called human energy, human aura. The science calls it electromagnetic field of our heart, which can be clicked from 6 to 8 meters where we stand. There are gadgets and machines that can click our energy field, and when you and I, we sit together, our energies are exchanging the vibrations and information. So that is the reason when we are talking to somebody, we feel distant, or we like some people, because we are exchanging information about each other in that field. So our thinking, our soul is a part. The mind has conscious and subconscious mind. Our soul is something called in science electromagnetic field energy, which is an awareness of ourselves, who we think that we are. The thinker, the programmer is us, the soul. The body is the hardware, mind is a processor, soul is a programmer. The mind has two parts, conscious, subconscious, and our body, you have this composition, the organs and everything. Now this electrical magnetic field, is driven from the heart center, which is 5,000 times more powerful than the brain. So whatever we feel, we attract in our life. If we feel sadness, we will attract more. If we feel healing, we will attract more healing. If we feel love, we will have more love. We feel more abundance, we will attract more abundance. And this law is called law of attraction, law of vibration, law of manifestation. These are the laws. And now scientifically, metaphysicists and neuroscientists and psychologists and positive psychologists has proven this fact. Now it's a fact. Whatever we think brings things and situations and circumstances in our life. And this is called, if you want, you can find out more about some knowledge and some books I will share today. That let's wrap up what we have understood from the beginning. If there's a conflict in our needs, desires and values, we will have stress. So whatever we value more in our life is going to drive our actions and behaviors, and our behavior and this value cycle will be a repetition of our behavior, and repeated behaviors become our, okay, we will do this exercise. So what we need in our life, from basic needs to self-realization, all you and me, we all need some basic needs. We cannot compromise on that, which is food, water, safety from the and hot cold weather, wild animals, now from the thieves, or any external environment. We need house, we need safety, we need family. We are social beings. We need, once we have a family and social network, we need appreciation, love, connect. Once we have all of this and all of our needs are met, we just try and find out what is the purpose for us to be on this earth, and realize our higher self, relationship with the God and life and death. These are the high questions. However, when we lose the balance and we just focus on one thing, like I said before, then we lose the balance of our life. So we must find out our values and focus. Our prime focus and attention should be on our value system, on our agenda, not the agenda driven by others in our life. And draw our boundaries. Do not allow people to play with our value systems. If you value compassion, don't let somebody come and tell you to talk bad about somebody else, because you are not that. Or if your value system is driven by freedom, you cannot work with somebody who's controlling your thinking and your mind. So you will be compromising in that situation. So we'll dodge this. Okay, let's understand. I wanted to do one exercise before that. You must know how we perceive the world around us through senses. We have, in most of the texts, we have been told we have 5 senses. These are what we see, what we taste, touch, smell and hear. These are the 5 senses. These are the external events. We look at things, we receive that information, and then our mind filters that information. We generalize certain things, we forget certain things, we distort certain things. Chinese whisper, we see something, we store something, we say something else, and this information happens in the brain. So what we receive, we filter. The information which is given to our senses is over billions of data per second, 2000 billion data per second. The only percentage that our mind is able to process and save is 5 to 9% or chunks of that. So then I look at ice cream. For example, I'll tell you, imagine coffee. Think about coffee when you had very tasty, wonderful coffee. So immediately there's a taste and the smell for the coffee. So this is the internal representation for me. Just think about meditation. I think about Buddha, for example. So if I tell you about Coke, you have a taste, and what does it mean to you? Pizza is a celebration, internal representation. So we look at things, filters, and try to make sense of it, and that sense is going to create our internal state, happy, sad, angry, whatever, and then our body changes. And when our physiology changes, we act. So if I'm happy, I'm going to feel happiness, and I'm going to probably just smile or dance, or say high five to our friends. And if, let's say, I'm angry, I look at somebody saying some bad word to somebody, I look at this person, and I have my internal representation that this person is bad because this person is shouting and yelling and misbehaving. My state is anger. My anger is giving me a short of breath. My heart rate is increasing, and I'm irritated. My behavior is what? Either say something or stop that thing or walk out from there. Okay, so this is how this whole process works. What is missing in this model is a sixth sense, and which is now new science, and the neuroscientists have spoken and they have talked about. There is a sixth sense, which is a telepathy, which is a work of a pituitary gland in our brain, which is a pineal gland, which releases the hormones if we do certain exercises. So our intuition increases. That gives us some information about some people in advance. So we say, oh, I have a gut feeling, I have a feeling, I think, I don't know how I think. That's called gut feeling. And there's something called telepathy. Now we know, and there's a TED talk on TED talk is there on YouTube. You can find out how the telepathy is real, and how the neuroscientist and the latest metaphysicist, they have explained how the telepathy works. So there's a sixth sense. So when we have a sixth sense, something is gonna happen. We have internal representation, and then we have a fear, we have anxiety, or we have whatever precaution, whatever how our body reacts to that sixth sense, we take action. So sixth sense is also now added to the model. So we have a situation, thought, emotion, and trigger. And whatever our behavior is, for example, some people are happy people, some people are angry people, some people are very clumsy, some people are lazy. So we tag people based on their behaviors. So the behavior becomes personal reality. Okay, so the behavior becomes the personality, and the personality becomes a reality. Because I am angry. My behavior is anger driven. Then I have an angry personality, and this is who I then become angry person. And when I'm an angry person, my reality is all that I'm living. So I become a victim of my situation, and I then become, it becomes an autopilot and auto trigger. So then it is a victim approach. Then what happens when we are in a victim approach? So this is a model given by Myers-Briggs. You can see they have classified people in different 16 types of personalities. So they say people are introverted, some people are more feeling, they are more compassionate, they're the people's person, they feel more. Some people are very sensitive, this person is very judgmental, sensing. Some people are very extravagant, they spend a lot. Some people are thinking, introverted, extroverted, intuitive. So even that is a personality type, those who are introverted. So these are the cognitive functions. Intuition is a cognition. Recognizing the emotions is a cognition. So identify yourself. Are you intuitive, extroverted, you are a feeling person, you are a sensing person, you are introverted, you are thinking, or are you intuitive? How do you drive your behaviors? From which place? And then we become the victim of this cage. Then what happens? We have to break this pattern. If we are not happy with our personality, we got to change certain things. We have to learn the language which is going to give us the empowerment to break that personality which is not helping us, and become conscious of how we want to live our life. People say you cannot change your personalities. Yes, we can. Major traits, hard to change. They only change with the major trauma or major, those Kensho and Centro moment. But normally we can train people, we can develop people. Lots of things can be learned. We have to just unlearn the old patterns and learn new patterns, and that is empowerment if our current personality is not helping us. And that process is called transformation. This process called where stress drives us to be reactive. Self-awareness, mindfulness, and transformation helps to be creative, thinking before acting. And those who are willing for transformation should start understanding the personality better, which will happen through self-awareness.